2,000 years ago, we have possibly the oldest recorded ghost story on record. It's a ghost story that was sent by a man by the name of Pliny the Younger to his friend Lucius Sura. And these were both very educated men. Lucius begins a letter by saying, I want to know whether you think ghosts exist, whether they are real, or maybe they're imaginations, terrible, frightening visions. He tells a story that in ancient Athens, there was a large and roomy house which had a very bad reputation. No one could live there. And in the dead of night, there would be a noise resembling the clashing of iron. And if you listened a little bit more attentively, it sounded like the rattling of chains at first. But when it approached nearer, a ghost in the form of a man, an old man, extremely emaciated and very squalid, very wretched looking, with a long beard and disheveled hair, would appear, rattling the chains on his feet and hands. The people who did live there would wake up on the nights and they would be having nightmares and sweats. It started ruining their health slowly but surely, causing a lot of health issues, and even two of them died from constant waking nightmares. During the day, the spirit did not appear. However, the impression was so strong, it was like shadows would appear in the corners and they would turn and swore that they would see something. So the house was deserted and it was deemed uninhabitable. So a bill was put up to say, a notice was put up to say that the house was really cheap to rent and or to buy because the house was abandoned. So there was a philosopher by the name of Athenodorus, and reading the notice inquired about the price, and he found it was really cheap, so it raised his suspicion a little bit, like, something's wrong here. At night, he found out about the ghost, and after calling for a light, of which they used lamp oils then, they didn't have candles. He had a pencil and his tablets, and he told everyone, go to sleep, I will stay up all night. And he said, I'm going to stay up and focus on writing so that way I don't get haunted by the night terrors. Early in the night, there was nothing. It was just quiet. All of a sudden, there was the clanking of the chains and the rattles. But he didn't lift his eyes yet. And he tried to keep calm, and he collected himself to pass, and he said, nah, it's something else. But the noise increased, and closer and closer and closer the noise came till it seemed it was at the door of the room. He looked up and he saw the ghost as if it had been described to him, and the ghost was going like this. And Athenodorus was going, but the ghost did this. So Athenodorus got up and followed him. And he followed him to another room, and then the ghost disappeared, and he marked the area with grass and leaves. The following day, he had it dug up, and he found there a man who was buried, chained with the same chains that the ghost had. So he did the proper rite burial. So I want to ask you now, and ask the audience, Make sure you have your will set for proper burial rites, because you never know if you're going to come back. And you never know also if it's a figment of your imagination or is what you're experiencing real.